Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. Just recently I've been ordering quite a few packages on eBay. I sold my Amiga collection, must have been about 24 years ago, and I had quite an extensive collection of, like, with the Amiga 500 Plus, and I had boxes and boxes of the big box games, and I sold it all. Got into PCs and kind of started to neglect the Amiga, and it was collecting dust, so I thought I'd sell it, and I've regretted it every day since. So just recently I've started picking up some Amiga stuff, so I thought I'd do some unpackaging today so we can have a look and we can see together what I've got, see what the kind of condition it's in, and you know, we'll do some videos on the stuff that I've actually got individually on their own. And yeah, hopefully you find it quite interesting. So first off, we get onto this smaller parcel. I don't know, obviously I've seen the internet condition on eBay, that things sometimes look a little bit different when they actually get here, stuck to the packaging. So just check out that there. More tape. Yeah, I've been ordering stuff for the Philps CDI too. When I sold my Amiga stuff, I sold all my Philps CDI stuff, and again I had the Philps CDI on day of release, and I had quite a big collection of stuff for it, and you know, since then I've just really regretted selling it again. It's one of those things, and I've had to start from the beginning. I've got 2 or 3 different Philps CDIs. I've got getting a reasonable collection of games again now, and I've also got some of the CDI movies, so I'm starting to collect for that as well. So the first thing that we have is Secret Missions for the Philps CDI. Never played it, don't really know anything about it, just another one to add to the collection. But when I get round to trying it, if I think it's worthy, you know, we can have a look at some of the gameplay. It's not exactly sealed, it's in like one of these things where it's a very good fit. So we take that out of there, and there's the disc and the condition. You can see it's in pretty much mint condition. I have ordered myself one of the JFJ CD restorer cleaner kits, so I've ordered that from America, so hopefully that will be here soon, and I can get cracking on that. So, oh, this one's quite heavy. Let's get these out quick. I've been ordering a lot of floppy disks, which is what these are, I think. So we've got 2 packs. So I've ordered quite a lot of stuff, so I can't really remember a lot of what I've bought. So what have we got here? Come on out, I'll stay in the packaging. So, alright, so I've got an Atari ST, and I don't really have any software for it. I've got a couple of games, but that's it. I've got no utilities and things like that. So this was a pack of discs that I picked up on eBay, and it's got a collection, a bit of a mixture really, of games. So you got James Pond there, not a bad little game. I used to play that a lot on the Amiga back in the day, and we've got quite a few cover discs. You know, I'm hoping, if these work, which is the main thing, that I might be able to get some decent sort of utilities and a little bit more software to play. So I don't really use it because I haven't really got any software. So we've got Evision Micro's Atari ST public domain software. So yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of discs like that. I have got a disc box somewhere that I'm going to put all of these into for the ST, and again there goes one. The Computer Maniac's Diary there. What was the one I dropped? Another public domain one, disc 2. We've got the CPM emulator, whatever that is. Discovery Extra language disc. And again, we've just got many discs. So hopefully, there's the other discs for that first one. So hopefully I'm going to get some decent software out of this lot. And the trouble is with floppy disks, they're getting very old now, so a lot of them have started to fail. They're not stored correctly, and they just kind of tend to break down over time. So got Hyper Paint, and just lots and lots of various discs. I thought it'd give me a good start to get going with. And it's got one in a little case there. What's that one? Gang Backup. Okay, this would be interesting. Find out what that is. And I'll drop it. Interface. I don't know what these are. I've not really looked because you can't see too much in the pictures online. You don't get to see a lot of the discs. So that's the Atari ST. So next up, we've got this bigger box, and this should, I hope, be Amiga discs. I've been ordering quite a lot of Amiga discs and hoping that I'm going to get some decent usable software. Oh yeah, this is Amiga discs that I've purchased. Just go like that. It's all going to fall on the floor. The box is broke. That's great. Let's put it in there. Got a few more in there. So we've got this. Oh, we've got this little box, and again in it, it's just kind of same as the Atari ST stuff. Just lots and lots of discs, various things of copied games, utilities, cover discs, just all kinds of sort of things. A lot of these may not work, or they may have a lot of bad sectors, but hopefully, like I said, I'm going to get some stuff that I can use. I have bought a GoTech drive for my Amiga 500, so whatever I find that works, I'm going to back up. And I know you can go online and there's lots of utilities and files you can download, but it's quite nice to have things like this. So we've just got a big box of Amiga discs. I don't know how many there was. I think it was over 100 in there. So that's that. We'll have a closer look at that one in another video. And we're now on to the bigger stuff. I've got this quite large one. That's what she said. And just cut this carefully because I've got a feeling I know what's in this one. I actually thought it was something else because of the size of the box, but then when I looked back at my purchase history, I was thinking, oh, I know what that one is. So basically, it's a big selection of original and some non-original, just all Amiga stuff, because I'm really trying to build the Amiga collection back up, and hopefully a lot of this stuff will work. We've got all the discs and the manuals and everything in there, so hopefully this stuff will work. And this is another one. This is not one that I've ever played, so hopefully that'll be quite good. Get that light off there. So hopefully that'll be quite interesting, and hopefully hopefully this works, things like that, get some utilities going. Trans right. We've got Midnight Resistance, another one I've not played, and then we've got some of these. I've purchased some of these myself, and they are original game discs, and they just kind of, they've got these little boxes and they just reprint or make up their own cover, but it's an original disc inside, you just don't have the original artwork. There's this one, so this will be the original. This is Night Sky, and again, as you can see, it's the original discs, it's just not the original box. So if you're not too bothered about it, I mean, they're nice compact little boxes, they're easy to store, easy to stack. So what we've got there, we've got Nick Faldo's Golf, just the discs, no case on those. We've got the big 100, so how many discs have we got? We've got 5, 6, 7, no disc 1, so we've got 2 to 7 there on the big 100, but not quite sure what that is. So this is an excellent game. Played this, I couldn't tell you how many hours I've played this for. My cousin Derek, who's sadly dead now, this was his favourite game. That was his go-to game when he wanted to just kill some time and have a play. He loved that, so it's an awesome game. So hopefully that works. So you've got this sealed bag. I don't know what this is. Where did I put my knife? Lost it. Okay, let's go for some scissors. See if I can get in there. There we go. So what do we have in here? So we've got Data Storm, Kid Glove, Druid 2, Time Runner. So basically these are just copied games. Might be some little gems in there. Got Disc Save, Clown Mania, Tanks and Baltics. So, you know, if the games themselves don't play, if there's not too many bad sectors, then they can be formatted and reused. Thomas the Tank Engine, and I didn't think Thomas the Tank Engine was old enough to be on the Amiga, but apparently it is. Thomas the Tank Engine came out around the time of the Amiga's demise, so this must have just kind of been right at the end of the Amiga's life. Shame it's not got the original box, but there you go. So we've got Captain Planet. It's an alright game. I played it quite a lot when I first had my very first Amiga, because that was one of the games that came with it. Then we've got F-19, not a game I've played. I can't imagine, you know, the graphics and stuff are not going to be too amazing on that. And then we've got another box here. So we've got this little box, and again, it looks like it's all just copied discs. We've got Hero Quest, Blockout, Soldier of Light, so just all copied discs. I'll go into these into more detail if anybody's interested in another video. So we'll pop them over there. Right, next, we've got another collection of, see if I can get this up for you to see, of copied discs. They're all going to slide. Let's have a look. Hold them up this way, this will work. So I think some of these may be mixed from the other stuff. It's just, again, more copied discs. We've got Super Frog and things like that. I played Super Frog a bit. That was came out as a demo when I first, well, part of the way through the Amiga actually. Not from when it first came out, but not a bad game. Let's pop those there. Yeah, this is a game that I lost I don't know how many 100 hours playing this. I was kind of addicted to Lemmings at one point. It is in the original boxlet, but it's a little bit worse for wear, let's say, and not something I'm really interested in playing, rugby, but it's another big box. It's shelf filler, something else to play. Let's get rid of that. Got some more packaging. This was quite a good game. I remember playing this back in the day. Crazy Cars 3. They did quite a selection of games from this company. They all came in the same box, and just lots of different games. Just remember that they did the Blues Brothers, things like that. I can't remember the other ones. Got a little, that's the Simpsons, it says, booklet. So next we've got Indianapolis 500. Can't remember if I played this, but it kind of looks familiar. I know a lot of games kind of look the same back then. It was $24.99 when it was purchased originally. So let's put that there. I remember playing this one. It's a heavy box as well, this one. There's a lot in there. The Grand Prix. It's a really, really good game, this one. I spent quite a lot of time playing this. So yeah, we'll get some of these fired up at some point, and hopefully some of this works. We're going to have to pop some of this down here now. It's got the original Deluxe Paint 3. It's got the booklets and everything inside, all the original discs. So hopefully that's going to work. I've already got this, but this box looks like it's in a little bit better condition than the box I've already got. Because I bought this with some other stuff, and then again I bought this sort of job lot, and it's coming again. You find that with the PC stuff, certain games just keep coming up, and they were very popular back in the day, so everybody had them. So they're in every sort of job lot that you buy. So that's Road Rash, and then Steve Davis Snooker, the shelf filler. And then we've got Turbo Outrun, a classic game. When I was at college many years ago, at Abingdon College of Further Education, this was one of the machines that they had there, was Outrun. We had Outrun and Bomberman was the two arcade machines. And then next we've got Space Ranger, not one that I've played. So it'd be quite interesting to get into that, see what that one's about. And then we've got PGA Tour Golf there. Not a great lover of golf games, but you know, if I get bored one day I might fire this up, see if it works. And we've got F-16 Combat Pilot. Try that one day. We got the Nick Faldo Championship, yeah, because we got the discs that came out earlier, so we've got the original booklet there to go with it, and there's the Championship Manager book. I've seen that somewhere. Mike Reed's Computer Pop Quiz, so another instruction booklet there. Don't see the thing, the disc. So we've got Trolls, no box, but we've got the booklets and everything else. And underneath we've got the Commodore emulator to emulate the BBC Micro on the Commodore Amiga. So there you go, something I've not seen before. And we now got this unfolding thing. This is the Amiga Workbench. We've got, and there's a disc missing out of there because we've got the Amiga Extras, locale, fonts and storage, but no actual Workbench disc in there. So if I can find that and complete that, that'd be good. And lastly, all my Amiga action and everything, Amiga format and stuff I had, I sold along with the other stuff. So I just thought it'd be interesting to pick up a few of the magazines, just to, you know, go back, reminisce, have a look at the prices on some of their adverts, have a laugh. So what's this one? CU Amiga. It's not really one I collected back in the day, but be worth a read. And Amiga Computing. Another one, not really one that I collected. It was mainly Amiga Action and Amiga Format that I collected, and I would absolutely love one of these. So that's so good. That's another big box. So I'll tell you what, let me clear this software very quickly. So the reason I purchased this one, I know what this is. It's very heavy and I know what it is. When I first bought my first Amiga, this was the same pack that I had. So basically this is going to be, you know, a trip down memory lane, just to because I bought this when it very first came out, and I think I got it from Dixon's and I got it on finance. I wasn't earning huge money at the time, so I had to get it on finance. Let me put it down here a second, get this off, and I'm hoping that it's in as good condition as it looked on the internet. Okay, there we go. So get off. What we have here is the Cartoon Classics, and this is my first introduction. I had the Commodore 64 before I purchased this, and this was my sort of first delve into the Amiga world, which kind of got me hooked, and that's how come I ended up playing this game quite a bit here, because it was one of the games that came with it. Played Bart versus the Space Mutants a lot, hell of a lot, and that's where I got Lemmings as well, and spent quite a bit of time on D-Paint. You know, it's not anything compared to the modern stuff nowadays on PC, but for its time, you know, it was I think it was a bit ahead, the Amiga. So let's pop this open. Let's find oh dear, stuck sellotape on it. I hate that. Got a lot of room in here with this table, so I hope you guys can see this. So we've got quite a nice Audition keyboard cover for that. Just pop that there. So again, this was an awesome game back in the day, Sensible Soccer. Everybody, I think, that I ever knew that had an Amiga had this, and the price was $25.99 originally. So yeah, really good game. And next we've got Bart versus the Space Mutants. Nothing on the back, and it looks like we've got one of these yellow booklets again in there, plus the disc. So the box is in quite good condition, not really torn up or anything. And you think this could be, what, you know, 35 years old. So that's doing good. We've got that's a different controller. I remember seeing these in some of the catalogues, but it's not one that I'd ever. Kind of feels like a Scalextric controller, but hopefully that will work. And then we've got this box here, which should contain the power supply. Then we've got an RF cable, put that there. We've got the video cable, power cable, and we've got the awesome ball mouse. The amount of times that I had to pop these out and clean the rollers dirt tended to collect on the little ball, and then as it went round the rollers inside here, it would deposit it, and you'd get like a ring of dirt and fluff build up, and then all of a sudden your mouse would start becoming really jerky, and it was really frustrating if it happened in mid-game. But yeah, just brings back some memories. And then we've got another box in the bottom. What's this? Let me move this big box. I don't want this box to get more destroyed than it is. It just brings back so many memories, this thing. Wish I could go back to those days sometimes. So, what do we have in here? Okay. So this has got, again, the original D-Paint. What else have we got here? We've got the original Amiga book. We've got Lemmings. It's got a bit squashed. We've got Captain Planet. Got a bit squashed. I normally buy plastic cases to put these in, clear plastic cases, and that tends to help these boxes reform back to their original shape over time. Not 100%, but got the Quick Connect guide, the Using Amiga workbench, and what else have we got? We've got key map selection on the Amiga 500 Plus. Don't remember seeing that before. Yeah, read this first. Got all the original stuff. Please ensure your modulator is switched to H before use. So failure for sound, I think that is. Got more in here. Yep. Quite a few. It feels like there's something else in here. Come on. Out you come. There you go, that's the booklet for the E520 modulator. We've got a pack of discs, got the workbench. That's that for there. So we got workbench 2.04 in the bag there. And then we've just got a selection of cover discs. Yeah, just, I don't know, I'm anticipating maybe 30% of all of these discs that I buy are going to have either some serious issues or not work at all. But, you know, it is what it is. It's old technology. And, you know, I've got Cannon Soccer. Cannon Fodder was one of my favourite games with the little army men. That was a really addictive game back in the day. So let's take a look at the Amiga itself, and let's have a look what sort of condition it's in. And even that's the original bag from the Amiga. So there you go, guys. A little bit discoloured, but it's not hugely bad. You know, I'm quite happy with that. It's not obviously been sat in the sunlight somewhere. There's colour in it. I don't know if we've got an expansion module in here. So, yep, we do. So we've got some form of expansion card in there. I don't know how tight that's going to be on there. Very. So there you go, it's just basically memory upgrade. I don't know what size they are, maybe 256, so we give it another additional megabyte. So yeah, so I've got several Amiga 500s now, and the intention is I'm going to keep one stock. This one doesn't look like it's been opened. That's it could have been actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think this possibly has been opened at some point. Can't really see damage to the screw heads, but I mean, it's all in very good, clean condition. Keys all seem to work. Yeah, very happy with that. And let's just hope it actually boots up. And then last off in here, we will have, that's your 520 modulator if you're going to use an RF output. And then here we've got another joystick, which is pretty cool. It's a nice green, and that looks like it's kind of showing up as blue on the monitor, but I'm hoping that's showing up. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's had much use at all. There's not really any wear down in there, so hopefully that's going to work okay. And then finally we've got the audio and the power supply, and to be honest, this is very clean as well. It doesn't look really yellowed or anything, so yeah, awesome. So let's put that down there. So guys, I know it's a bit of a mess here, but I hope you've enjoyed a little look at this Amiga stuff. It's a little bit of a trip down memory lane for me. So right guys, we've got the Amiga 500 Plus set up. This is the modulator that I had issues with, so that's going to get looked at in the next few days, but it's working well on the donor one that I've taken off of my other Amiga. I did have quite a bit of a play with this controller. It's very comfortable in the hand, but to get diagonal movements I found very difficult, and when you're playing platformers I found it quite frustrating. So this controller here I think is virtually brand new, and it's a very good controller for doing diagonal jumps. Made things a lot easier. I've got a few of these external drives. This is one that I hadn't tested, so I thought I'd hook it up quick and have a go with it, and it seems to be working okay. So just quickly this morning before I carry on, this turned up in the post. I was bidding on this in an auction, and luckily I won it. I've not ever seen another copy sort of in the flesh. Seen a few online, and they do tend to go for fairly good money. But I'll be doing a video on this one at some point in the not too distant future. And also today I had this box turn up, which is another eBay purchase, and the reason I got this one is that it's well over 100 floppy disks, and they're all cover disks, so there should be a good amount of stuff on there that may be useful. And also I have got quite a few magazines without the discs, so I'm hoping that I can at some point make that into you know, sort of complete those magazines again. And just quickly, one other thing, this is a floppy disk cleaner that I found on eBay. I had this quite a long time, and they recommend that you pop this in and you leave it in there whenever the computer is turned off. So if I just flick it off quick, so when the machine's not in use, because obviously if you pop this in and the drive's live, it's going to try and spin it, and this has got a very soft pad on there. It's got it on both sides for both heads. Then you pop that in and you just leave it like that, and obviously it would prevent anything from sort of traveling into the drive on the air and settling onto those. And it also wipes across them as it goes in and out, and it leaves a little indent on there where it's gone in. And I mean, I've tried it in these drives and it goes in and out and it comes out pretty clean. And obviously you could give this a little brush with something just to clean it off, but that's what it is. It's a data hyper brush, so that's something that's quite useful. You might, you may find you want to try and find. So right, let's get on to this Amiga then. So I will be opening this Amiga in the not too distant future, just to check on batteries and capacitors to make sure that the onboard battery isn't started to leak onto the main board. With the original 500 you didn't have to worry about an onboard battery because they didn't come with one, but when you added a memory expansion into the bay underneath, you usually got a battery backup on there, but the 500 Plus came with a battery as standard. So if I turn this back on, so a lot of discs from back in the day came on multiple discs. This was one of my favourite games from back in the 80s. I don't know how many hundreds of hours I played this, kept going back to it. And it comes on 3 discs, so you've got the main disc, which I normally pop in there, and pop disc 2 in there. That's not sounding good. Maybe this drive is faulty then. I used it earlier. I think it is reading, but there's something in there catching. So let's quickly. Right, I've switched drives. That other one was a little bit noisy. It was going to get on my nerves and also interfere with the camera sound. This is one of the drives. I think this came with an original Amiga that came with a Workbench 1.2 that was out before the 500 Plus. It seems to be a really good drive. So I'm going to pop disc 1 in there, and we'll pop disc 2 in there. And then the Amiga will constantly check both drives, and as needed it will switch between them. The only problem is you got 3, so at some point I'm going to have to switch those discs. Quite a quick load time on the floppies compared to cassettes that came before them. With the cassettes, I can remember on the Commodore 64 and that you put the cassette in, start it loading and go and have your dinner, or go and play somewhere for a little while and then come back and hope that it had actually loaded and hadn't crashed. Because if it crashed for any reason, you had to rewind the cassette back to the beginning and start the whole process again. So floppy disks were a huge leap forward in terms of load times, and obviously the graphics, the audio got much better. So this, you can understand why the Amiga 500 was so popular back in the day, and it still is today to some extent. And I think the popularity is actually growing of the Amiga in recent years. The shows that they do in different parts of the world for the Amiga community, those shows are growing year by year. So, I think this is just a good thing for the Amiga. So these had speech.
Yet witness to a biblical prophecy come true, that one day the meek shall inherit the earth.
So this one always reminded me of the old B movies that you used to have. So this is just asking if we want to load a saved game. If you have a blank floppy disk, you can insert it and you can actually save your progress and then come back to it at a later date. I've not done one at the moment. I've just recently got this game, so we've got it on here, haven't we? So we're on let's just carry on. But as it goes through, so you can see we're loading from disc 2 now, where it's actually loading the main part of the game. If you get to the sort of fight scenes between you and the monsters in this game, then it will ask for this disc normally. And it's quite cool because if you get caught, you don't necessarily die. You end up getting into hospital, and it turns into a kind of GTA sort of top-down view like you had in the original GTA game on the PlayStation. And you're in bed and you have to climb out of bed, and basically you've got to get out of hospital without getting caught by the doctors, the nurses, the security guards. And if you get chased, you can nip into a ward, you know, with beds in somewhere close to you, and you can actually jump in the bed and cover yourself up, and as long as they don't see you do it, they can't find you. And if you can get out, it saves you a lot of game time because you've got a certain amount of time to do things in this game. So if you end up getting tranquilized and kept in hospital, obviously this is time that you're not investigating. So it's a menu driven, so you can opt, it's flashing to kind of give you a hint at this, because this is the beginning of the game, what you should do, but you can ignore that. But if you do, you know, follow the storyline, and there's lots of places, lots of people that you can sort of talk to get information and try to piece together what's going on and try and save the sort of little town. But this just sort of shows that the Amiga is working okay. So I'm really pleased with this purchase. It's as good as I would have expected it to be. Very clean, no issues whatsoever, apart from that modulator, which I think is just a dry solder joint, so that's not a problem. And yeah, really happy with it. So this one should get plenty of use once it's been taken apart and checked to make sure there's no issues. I do have some brand new batteries, which are like the original batteries that came in these, which I've used in the past, and I would normally add a couple of wires from the contacts on the board where the battery would normally sit, and then I run the wires to the side of the case in the bottom where it's completely away from any other electrical components, and solder the wires to the battery terminals, and then stick the battery with some double-sided tape, so if in the future it ever did leak, it would leak into the case and not onto the circuit board. But I've changed to using button cell sockets, so you can put like a 2032 battery or whatever to keep the clock running instead of using the batteries that came with them. And obviously you don't have the issue with leakage and stuff. I mean, you can also just remove the batteries. They don't need the batteries to function. It just keeps the onboard clock to the correct time and date when the machine is turned off, but it doesn't kind of affect too many things when it's in use. So you know, you can do whichever. I know a lot of people just remove them, they just don't bother with the battery. But yeah, here we go. So we're back. So there's somebody at the door, so I'm just going to talk to the other character. So, you know, you have freedom. On these, you're not kind of strictly set to things. So he's telling you he's going to be at O'Riordan's, the local bar, so you know where to go to find him when you want to speak to him. But yeah, really happy with this at the moment. We've got this really nice joystick. I don't know how old this is when this would have been purchased. I might do a bit of investigating on that and see when they were released. So I normally run all of the computers on a copied set of workbench discs, but I do have the originals for most, apart from the very latest operating systems. So I normally keep the originals somewhere safe. and I'll just boot this up. Don't really need those two at the moment. So, you know, if you were around in the time of the Amiga, if you were sort of a young teenager or whatever, and you have some really fond memories, it's a cool thing to get back into. Keep this Amiga scene alive. The more people that get into it, the better. Just helps people that produce things like circuit boards, like the Terrible Fire and things like that. It spurs these people on to keep producing fan-based stuff, and it will keep the Amiga alive for as long as possible. So as you can see, it doesn't take too long to get into the workbench. So if we if you type info at the shell line, it will show you the drive units available, what drives are mounted, what workbench you're currently using, so that can be sort of a useful thing. It tells you if there's any errors, what percentage full the RAM is, the floppy disks. So as you can see here on this one, it knows that there's no drive disk present in DFO. There's no drive present in DF1, and DFO is 97% full. It has no errors, and it's telling you what the name is. And obviously this is the RAM disk, which is 100% full, as it says there. And also you can type, what's the other command? I had it in my head just now. Right, I've remembered. So if you type avail, which is abbreviation for available, and do that, it will then list what type, it lists the available RAM, what's in use, your maximum and largest, and this is chip RAM, fast RAM, and your total RAM. So as you can see here, we've got 2 megabytes of RAM in total, and this is what's in use by just Workbench at the moment, and this is what the largest available amount of RAM could be used by other programs. So, you know, this could do with maybe another 2 megabytes, and then get some fast RAM would be good with an onboard accelerator, because these run at 7 megahertz, I think. So, you know, by today's standard, when we're talking you know, gigahertz, it's a huge difference. These are pretty slow by today's standards. So if you like this, please like, share and subscribe. Leave me a nice comment down below if you've got any memories back at the Amiga back in the day when it first came out. Leave me a comment, let me know what Amiga you've got, you know, or what you got back then, what games that you had, what was your favourite, and you know, what was your long-lasting impressions of the Amiga today after seeing all of the technology that we have now, with the Xboxes and the PlayStations and the PC. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.